Well, it's looking like a lot of you have been looking for Mr. Festus Keyamo, who is now the Minister of Aviation. We want to hear his voice. A lot of you have been asking why is he not saying anything. Well, we found him, and then we found him in an old tweet that he made a couple of years ago. I want to watch the video of the tweet he made, and of course, a response by PDP spokesperson or Atiku Abubakar's campaign organization spokesperson Daniel Boya. Here is Keyamo, and here is why he's been silent.
Social media is not going to rest when they hear that. You know what people did? They went to pull up Festus Keyamo's tweet. Let me read his tweet there. He wrote, this was in 2019, by the definition of school certificate or its equivalent in section 318 of the 1999 Constitution, you don't need a WAEC certificate to become president or governor. But if you present a forged WAEC or other certificate to INEC for any office, you will be disqualified. Well, in response to Keyamo, Daniel Boala wrote, all the factual and legal points that Festus Keyamo raised and argued about Tinubu's certificate forgery from High Court to Supreme Court are the points haunting Tinubu's legitimacy today. All the tweets that Festus Keyamo made in 2019 to defend Buhari's certificate are the tweets killing Tinubu's defenses today. Keyamo to Tinubu is what Maguire is to Man United. Didn't I tell you? Kokoro ton jeffo, inu efo lo wa. Yes, you can play. You can.
Well, like Festus Keyamo, like Femi Fani-Kayode, like a lot of these preachers in Lagos, Professor Wole Soyinka, a couple of other persons, they've suddenly become so focused on their jobs, right? Even the Keyamo's ministry is still not working. They are still cancelling flights and having all forms of aviation crisis. I think the only minister working now is the Minister of Interior, who was able to clear bureaucracy and backlog of passports for several months. So, yes, of course. I don't know what Festus is doing, but he's been quiet. But the truth of the matter is that they were sold a lie, and then they sold the lie themselves to the people. And now it's difficult for them to come and I want to hear Professor Wole Soyinka, actually, a man who is a Nobel laureate, come up and say it doesn't matter that this forgery wasn't done or whatever. Let me hear Femi Fani-Kayode. I hear the man is angry about appointment that went and didn't favor him. But Festus has an appointment and he has a job to at least defend the president. But that was him in 2019 while he was defending Muhammadu Buhari's certificate issue. But here he is now caught up. So that's the problem with lie. When you lie one lie, you need to use another lie to cover the lie, and use another lie to cover it, and all that. Part of talking about lies, the president also be caught lying. In the Chatham House press conference last year, the president said that the CSU issued him the certificate. And now we are hearing from his toothless bulldog on social media that it's a third-party arrangement, that they are vendors. Whereas they are going to quote the University of Illinois Chicago website that their own situation, they have a official. Guess what? It's not just third party. You cannot just walk to any vendor and print certificate. They have an official. So they have a link on their website where they take you to an official third vendor where you can actually have a reissue. But it is not like that for Chicago University. But they are deceiving gullible people like that and saying that third party. Okay, the same people who said that the man went to the school and the certificate was given to him by the school are now saying that transcript is the most important thing. Whereas some of these guys are going to apply for a job and they are going to submit transcripts. So why are we submitting certificates if transcript is the most important thing? That being said, now they are twisting it to say that in the American system, you do not. Whereas all these are all lies. Lies upon lies. It's unfortunate that we have to now begin to live on lies. And I really do pray that somehow, somewhere, I don't expect a miracle from Supreme Court, but this is really severe irreparable damage. Watch the rest of the video and share this video. This damage must be loud. And for those of you that will get high blood pressure from this consistent reminder that this country is bigger than this mess that the APC, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and all of you have put us in, it will continue to happen. I will continue to sing this message and sing this song until all of you agree that you have sold a lie. You you wanted to impoverish us by putting upon us something that our children will suffer, and we disagree with that. Let the man come clean on this allegation. Thank you so much.
Wow, so many things. A busy day yesterday. I don't even know where to start from. We've had, quite a detailed conversation, as you alluded to, when we were speaking about this story. But to Chief Bayo Ononuga's tweet and Mr. Festus Keyamo's old tweet. By the way, they say he's been quite quiet. Maybe his ministry must be very tasking.
Oh, he's going to come with it too, don't worry.
Because we haven't heard a lot from him. The only thing we can see are his old tweets. He hasn't responded, and it is very unlike him. Yes. So I have to mention that. Yeah. Usually he's very quick to respond. But on the issue on ground, yesterday's press conference gave the Atiku camp an opportunity for the first time himself, that's Waziri Abubakar Atiku, to speak to these issues. And he had talked about the fact that he was doing it based, and as we've said a number of times, beyond the law, on issues of morality. We're talking about the seat of the president. It ought to be honorable. So for the sake of truth, and because the Nigerian people deserve to know the truth, this has to be pursued till the very end. And in his own estimation, the very end is until the Supreme Court rules, right? Now, Mr. Festus Keyamo saying that his tweet about, a former tweet, just demonstrates again to us that it depends on which side of the divide you're sitting on.
Absolutely.
That's what then makes your that makes what you tilt towards. He says that he has given us the definition clearly. And so except he wants to go against what he says he made a mistake or he didn't interpret the law properly, he has already answered the question for APC.
Yes.
Now, another thing is that I want to talk to the insinuations and innuendos that Chief Bayo Ononuga spoke about. And that's why it's clear to say there are insinuations as well from the other camp in terms of parties stating that, the certificate was gotten from third party. When there's nothing, absolutely nothing like that in the deposition.
Yes,
that has to be made
I showed
clear.
you guys. I actually did go to the Chicago State University.
Yes,
you can click on the link there and you can order your diploma online.
So just to mention that we need to debunk that, because that news has, a lot of people are quoting it, it's been going on, and that they have taken it as the truth. It is it's not, it doesn't exist at all. So just to mention that in eras of insinuations and innuendos, they themselves must be careful to not give insinuations and innuendos around the facts of the matter and just present facts to the people. At the end of the day, like you said, OG, the Supreme Court will rule. But what is important to Nigerians is that the truth has to be said.
Yes.
Irrespective of the outcome, the truth ought to be said.
Yes.
It is important. Let's call it yo-yoing. It's a distraction. It's not a distraction. This is critical matter.
Absolutely.
Whatever happens, it has international impact for Nigeria.
Yes.
It has impact on even our younger people. Who are examples? What do we see in terms of people whether having real certificates or not, who are in power?
Truly a subject of national importance. But I want to go back on that fact of going to Chicago State University to get your degree. I want to take a story before I come to you, Rufai. In the meantime, a short clip where President Bola Ahmed Tinubu addressed an elite audience at the Chatham House in London in December last year, in which he confirmed that Chicago State University provided him with an original copy of his certificate is making the rounds on social media. Let's take a look.
I've had a very good exposure in life. My record is consistent. And the school and the university, they questioned. They now confessed that they wasted their money and their time. Equally, it remains the same. Deloitte, Chicago State University, where I graduated, has attested to that. Now I can announce that I've received my original replacement degree certificate from them. The Deloitte trained me as an accounting firm. Mobile has attested to my record, a standing record. I got to the pinnacle of my career. And the private sector, who among them can brag about it?
All right, Rufai, that was last year in 2022. He says that he received his original degree certificate from Chicago State University.
Oji, it is sad at a time like this, I have to do my job as a journalist, but I'm a journalist, I stick to the truth. In fact-checking all what the president has said, they're all false. As we speak, Chicago State in that deposition said nothing of such. In fact, it was the replacement certificate they gave Enahoro Eba. It is Enahoro Eba that has that replacement certificate, not the president. That statement, false. Second statement, Deloitte. He said if you go and check Deloitte, Deloitte was subpoenaed by Enahoro Eba, and they said they don't know anybody in the fashion of the president. The statement again, false. What's the other thing he said there as regards, I think it was just only those two claims. Everything was false, what he said in that. I'm sorry I have to do this, but I have to do my job as a journalist by fact-checking. It's not of the truth at all.
Okay, Rufai, I have to make it clear though. We have to be sure, because at the end of the day, like I said earlier, the case has to be investigated. And you know, this comment we're making, wait, let me just say, this comment we're making is a statement that was made by Westberg, who is the witness at the Chicago State University. So he just made those statements.
So very good.
And so we need to be factual in terms of comparing those and doing the investigation and making sure that he's been found guilty of forgery.
I understand and I appreciate what you said, but based on the evidence we have at hand, and I'll give you factual analysis. Enahoro Eba subpoenaed Deloitte. Let me check for that. I think I have to read verbatim. September 20, 2022 is a response to Leigh, Essenberg and Franklin Limited. Attention, Matthew J. Calls. That was the lawyer through which Enahoro Eba subpoenaed. This is with Deloitte's logo, and it said Deloitte LLP, 30 Rockefeller Plaza, New York. It said, Dear Mr. Qualls, we released a subpoena dated 16th September 2022 seeking employment record for Bola Ahmed Tinubu, SSN 059 DOB. Please be advised that we have no record of Bola Ahmed Tinubu in our systems, and we have no such employment records for them.
And this is Deloitte?
Yeah, this is Deloitte.
Okay.
Signed by Tish Negron, senior legal specialist. These were part of the documents in the deposition by Enahoro Eba. So that's from the context at which I gave you facts
that you gave
for the
me
matter.
Those comments.
But in all of this, let's wait for the court, to be able to rule as regards all of this. There's been many discrepancies across both sides. And I also want to say for the opt-in time, there was in no place in the deposition that a third party was mentioned as granting certificates in that deposition by CSU. We have to reiterate that because we have a right to inform our audience.
Absolutely.
And on this network, the facts lead. So that's why when I made a claim just now, I brought out the facts.
Good.
Second claim I made as regards CSU, I brought out the fact by saying it is with Enahoro Eba, and it was also written clearly in the deposition.
Yeah, so I mean, in all of this, at the end of the Kayode, the Nigerian public want to know the truth, whether or not our president forged his certificate quickly, so we can take our final story.
Well, for me, I would end with what I started with, which is Nigerians, especially our young people, say my truth, your truth, they're different, but the bottom line is there is a truth that is consistent. There are truths that you can point to from those who are members of APC, including the one that we had on the show this morning, that they're saying the truth. Did he attend the university or not? Even the school confirmed that he attended, and that is the truth. And they can hold on to that and say, for that reason, nobody should raise any other issue. On the other hand, the other issue is the document. Was it emanating from the institution that is called CSU?
Well,
the CSU said it is not from them.
It's not from them.
So whether you now want to call it fake or forged or fraudulent or any other name, that is going to be the court that makes the final decision on it, and that is somebody's truth. So we have to find which one is the absolute truth that is incontrovertible.
Right. All right. We don't have much time, but I also wanted to raise that point Tiku made earlier when he, praised Gani Fawemi. I thought that was such an important point that he made because obviously this case has been going on for years, and we're hoping that we're going to see the end of it sooner than later.